Mika and the Witch Mountain is a game that proves that a good concept is not always enough to carry a game. This adorable witch delivery service game is very cute, but sadly it's a missed opportunity. Thank you Chibig and Nookfist for providing me with a copy of the game. So what is this game? Well, it's Kiki's delivery service, the game. If you've never seen the movie, what are you doing watching YouTube? Go and watch the movie now! But if you for some reason can't, let me just tell you that it's a classic from Ghibli Studio about a young witch who uses her broom flying skills to deliver packages around town, making friends along the way. It is a cute and wonderful film which clearly inspired Mika and the Witch's Mountain, which is about a young witch which delivers packages around town making friends along the way. Yeah, this game is shameless about its inspiration. Concept-wise, it's just Kiki delivery service. Look-wise, it's Wind Waker. Not a bad combination. It does really work here well, and this game has charm that cannot be denied. But let's start from the beginning. In this game we are Mika, a young witch apprentice who wants to become full-fledged witch, so she goes to an old mean witch on top of the mountain, who tells her to jump down and prove her flying skills. However, Mika does not seem to be as good on flying as she expected, as she falls and breaks her broom. Thankfully, a kind stranger fixes her broom for us. It does not unfortunately work as well as it previously did, as such we can't fly all the way up the mountain on it. But she does say we could buy a better one, but we are fresh out of cash, so what do? Well, we sign up to become a courier, using our broom to fly around the island, delivering various different packages to the villagers. And that's about it. We go around talking to various characters, which issues are all solved by fetch quests apparently. The characters are very cute, and they are definitely the best part of this game. As when it comes to gameplay, well, let me just start to say this game is in early access. So anything I say here is subject to change. However, this game is on sale on various platforms, despite being unfinished. You can buy this game on Switch for $19, and nowhere on the store page does it indicate that it's an unfinished early access game. So I think it's fair to judge the game in its current state. That being said, this game's gameplay is weak. You only realistically can fly on your broom or walk around and jump. The broom flying, aka the one and only big mechanic of this game, does not feel that great. The broom only actually hovers a little bit above the ground. And yes, it does get a little better as you upgrade the broom, but generally it is very limited. This really confused me at first, as I could not understand how will this game work if you fly lower than you actually jump. But essentially in this game, it's all about using those random like wind things to go farther and higher. As it's not really flying in this game, it's falling with style. And yes, it works, but it's not very satisfying to do, and it gets old very quickly. It does not help that other than using these wind things, there aren't realistically any other mechanics to worry about. True, you have the whole thing about carrying packages, and some cannot be made wet, and so you have to avoid going too low when you fly above water, and some are fragile, so you can't hit them on things, but that's not enough to make this mechanic fun, as it's very simple to avoid those two things. I do feel like this game really relies on the fact that it's Kiki delivery service, and it feels that it's enough to make this whole thing fun. Whilst when you strip away the similarities to the movies, you realize that this game is just basic and not fun platformer, full of fetch quests. All you do in this game is glide back and forth through the island through the same paths, carrying different packages which functionally all feel the same. I think my biggest issue is that this concept does have a potential. We have seen games where one simple concept was used in many interesting ways. It is after all a hallmark of some of the best platformers in history and most of the Nintendo games. Having one mechanic or a concept and deviating on it and can result in some great games. But developers of Mika didn't really try doing it here. There are no real puzzles in this game, no real challenge, or any kind of hard way to get somewhere without damaging the packages. You know, it does feel like the developers haven't really utilized the mechanics in a right way. It's just, I think it's all down to very lackluster level design. The only struggle you really have in this game is understanding what to do, as things are just not explained and telegraphed properly in this game. You do have at the beginning, the struggle of getting to the area, trying to find a way to use the limitations of the broom to fly up. But the way these levels are designed and the mechanics of the games are so limited that honestly it does feel like you're breaking the game at points. A lot of times I found that I just have to get off the broom and jump somewhere and then glide up. It feels like you're fighting against the level rather than you actually utilizing the levels properly. And I don't like that. It doesn't feel satisfying. Like with Mario games, all the mechanics work with the world, while here it feels like you're kind of glitching the game. I don't like it. It doesn't make you feel good or clever about your approach. It just make you feel like a little bit of a hack. And I just feel it's because of the limitations of the world and the tools that you have. Yes, it could be because this game is in early access, as there are some points in this game that indicate that they had plans to expand on the mechanics more. Like towards the end, I had to do like a very, very, very basic puzzles to unlock this wind tunnel things to be able to climb up the mountain. And there was this whole mechanics of strong winds, which limited me in what way I could glide. So it required me to have a thing about which way I would go and how would I approach going up the mountain. And that part was fun. It was like a very simplistic Zelda dungeon, which with this Wind Waker aesthetic I think worked very, very well. The problem is that it's the only place I found anything like that in, and it was at the very end of the super short 3 to 4 hour campaign, at the point which I was already done with the game. I was completely bored. I actually was trying to think that maybe this game is for kids, hence why it was so simple and so rudimentary. But then is that really an excuse? When a game like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is like so much more complex compared to this game and feels so much better and has so much more things to do. Plus, this game's mechanics I don't think would really suit kids because they're not very intuitive in my opinion. However, lots of people in the reviews were saying that their kids loved it, so maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I was looking forward to this game, but Mika and the Witch Mountain is a disappointment. This game is full of charm, with great characters and lovely world. I love the little character interactions. I love the little like personal stories. It's honestly super cute, and I would love to read a comic about those characters or watch a cartoon, but I was just bored with the game. I was bored with the core gameplay of this game, and that's never good. This game feels like a demo, very early demo. Yes, this game is not yet done, but it's on sale, so it's feel like selling a tech demo is just not acceptable, especially for anyone who buys it on Switch, where it's not obvious that it is what it is. I hope they will be able to add some substance to this game, as it's a great shell to what could be an amazing game. But right now, it feels shallow and empty. And in my personal opinion, probably it's too early to sell it. But I guess I got it for free, so again, thank you for developers. I wish I could be more positive, but I just can't. I'm just being honest with everyone. I do hope that in future it will all be fixed and it'll be a more satisfying game, because I would like to go back to those characters. I would like to interact more with them, but right now the gameplay just pushes me away. But yeah, that is my little review of this game. Let me know what you thought about the game, if you have played it or if you backed it on Kickstarter. Because there's a Kickstarter game as well, which is interesting. So let me know what you think. And yeah, I shall see you next time.